of Learning the Bible in 24 Hours, in which we'll undertake to review chapters 4 through 11 of Genesis. The first 11 chapters of Genesis are viewed by most people as prehistory. This is the first unit of a 2-unit review of Genesis. From chapter 12 on, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, and Joseph are the patriarchs. But we are in hour 3, in which we're going to talk about chapters 4 through 11. And so as we look at the panorama of history, we've been through the creation and the fall of man, and now we're undertaking the story of Cain and Abel. We'll talk a little bit about Noah, the flood of Noah, of course, but what will surprise many is we'll talk a little bit about the days of Noah. Most people have little insight as to why the flood really came and what that's all about. And then we'll conclude this session with a quick look at the Tower of Babel and what's called the Table of Nations. So that's our challenge for this session, hour 3. Genesis chapter 4 is the famous story of Cain and Abel, the 2 brothers. And they both had offerings. Cain was a farmer, Abel a shepherd, and they both gave offerings. The significance of the offerings is often misunderstood. Cain, of course, being a farmer, gave as an offering of the fruit of the ground. Abel gave a lamb, but not just because he was a shepherd. One of the insights that most people miss, and you wouldn't get this unless you've read the rest of your Bible and come back to this, is the lamb was the designated offering to be given. And Cain may have meant well, but he wasn't following the directions. So Abel's offering was accepted and Cain's was not. Now the first question that should occur to us is, how would they know? When you put an offering in the offering plate in church, you can be pretty sure it'll be accepted, but in any case, you would have no knowledge if they didn't. But in these days, apparently, there is some scriptural indication that the offering was consumed by fire from heaven. That may sound strange to us because that's not our normal practice, but it was clear that both Cain and Abel recognized the acceptance or non-acceptability of their offering, and that was what gave rise to Cain's envy or hatred of Abel. And so Cain's offering was the fruit of his own labors, Abel's the lamb. And Cain's offering was rejected, and that's what caused him to, or should say motivated him at least, to murder his brother Abel. Rather extreme. So we have the second murder. Many people call it the first murder, and in a sense it is, but really the first murder was when Satan deceived Adam and Eve, and in effect they lost their immortality. They were mortal. They were consigned to death ultimately. So let's take a look at this, though. Both